Hey YouTube, I'm back with another video, and this time it's going to be another package and pickups video. In fact, it's a little delayed because there's a few trades and gift stuff that I wanted to talk about for the last few weeks. Running behind, but hey, getting there within the same year, that's good, isn't it? So I'm just going to jump into it. Got a box of stuff here and a few other bits. I'll do a few small bits first. First up is a trade. So you might have seen the trade video I put up recently. This is one of the trades that came out of it. So this is a Master System item. I know, I completely said more Master System items is one of my first pickups afterwards. You know, it's like an addiction. You can't stop, I guess. And this one is coming from 8-Bit Boy UK Ollie. And it's actually, when I say Master System, it's a Mark III game. It's a Parlor Games, I think they call it. Parlor Games is a very generic, as you'd expect, box art in the UK, but I just think, or in Europe, the Japanese, as is often the case, has such a nice box art that I said, you know what, that's just a nice piece to add to the collection. And plus, it was nice to do a trade with a fellow Master System collector. So you got your very small, Mark III. Actually, I don't know what this is. I don't know if this will come out on camera. That is the Famitsu character, I think. So there's some sort of... For those that know Japanese, I don't know what that says. Maybe I might take the Google Translate app to it later. But as is often the case, these are cardboard games. It's amazing the condition there. And so you have your nice big cart with your nice big label. Like such a far cry from the Master System cartridges and box art, which were so plain. And your slim little manual. They went with these orange booklets, whereas we got that kind of bluey, purpley, colory thing in the West. So they got lots of characters and stuff. Yeah, they call it family games. And I love how they call it family games with a picture, again, if that's coming across, of a kind of a woman in a swimsuit, like in a casino. Yeah, not quite your typical family game. So there's that. A nice thing to add to the collection. As I was saying, I'm going to try and avoid the temptation of going down the Mark III route. I don't have a Mark III after all. Mind you, having seen a few people pick up the various cartridges and systems recently on Twitter and on YouTube. It is tempting. It is tempting. Oh, that's not going back in for me. I'll deal with that later. And I'll put that bubble up aside. Next up is actually a gift. Pay for postage job. And this is from BaldTrooper on Twitter. And so we were chatting about these EverDrives, which is what this is. It's a Master System kind of knockoff AliExpress EverDrive thing. Has an SD card here in it, loaded up. These are just, as you'd expect, put a bunch of your ROMs on them, put them into your system, pick game from menu and play on a real hardware. Very handy, especially if you want to play SG-1000 or out of region games, because the Mark III stuff, they don't fit in the Western slot. And homebrew. There's a thriving homebrew scene in the Sega 8-bit world, so it's nice to be able to put those on and try them out. Certainly a lot easier, and I know firsthand, than trying to make reproduction cartridges, to try those games out. So delighted to pick this up. I think he got it I think he ordered one for himself and he got like a spare to just send him too. So we were chatting and he was like, hey, I have that. If you want it, I'll send it on. So I was like, sure, yeah, pay shipping. Brilliant. Really appreciate that. So thanks for sending it on. And that's the more retro-y side out. So next are some presents. All, came from my wife. And I'm going to go with the non-game piece first. So we got a couple of mugs. We got a Pokemon Snorlax mug. Snorlax being my favorite one. And this, and the second one, if I can get this out, come at you. Yep, there we go. A Legend of Zelda mug, kind of the stained glass effect. Very much Wind Waker kind of style there. Whenever I get a mug like these, I'm always left in the dilemma to use them as mugs or to leave them as display pieces. After all, I think they're cool mugs. I like a cool mug, but I also like display pieces, so I just don't know what to do. I'm not exactly short on mugs. I'm okay on mugs, so I don't need to use these as regular drinking mugs. So I don't know. Leave a comment below. What would you do? Would you use these as mugs, or would you put them on the shelf as part of the collection? I'm definitely thinking the Zelda one shelf with collection. Snorlax, it kind of feels fitting. I mean, I'm sure he likes a cup of tea. He likes sleeping, so he likes eating, sleeping, kind of tea before he sleep. Always good. Anyway, on to a few games then. I'll do the PlayStation stuff and keeping a bit of a retro-y thing going, I suppose. We have the, what's this one called? Sega Mega Drive Classics, and the reason why I had to look is because, of course, there's been quite a few Mega Drive collections. In fact, when my wife got this, she ended up saying, she looked through my collection and was like, oh, I'm not entirely sure, my Excel sheet that is, if you have this or not. So it turned out I didn't, but I had the Xbox 360 or something version, like the Ultimate Mega Drive collection. So Sega are kind of fans of re-releasing these collections, but this is one of the most recent ones. So as it's a modern game, it's basically disc only. That's your job. Was it 50 retro games, a lot of your classics, save states, rewind, trophies. It's a great collection. Here's the thing. I know they keep releasing them again and again and again for each kind of system and generation, but for the money, you kind of can't go wrong. It's just a pity that they tend to stick to the same set. Now, of course, they have been using the Mega Drive Mini and now the upcoming Mega Drive Mini 2 to kind of broaden that set. So I guess you're going to get these collections as the more common games. But I definitely look forward to kind of trying that out and revisiting some classics yet again that I love revisiting. In fact, I was looking at the back of the box going, Street Rage 2. How many times can I play Street Rage 2? I don't know, because I haven't reached the limit yet. And sticking with the Sega theme, we have Puyo Puyo Tetris. I played a little bit of this demo on the Switch, because it was an early Switch game, and it's kind of groovy. Like to mix two great puzzle games up like that. And again, another modern release, so not much to see on the inside. I definitely, when I was younger, probably favoured Puyo Puyo more, but as I've gotten older, I actually favoured Tetris. So nice to mix them both up and get a bit of both. Jumping on over then to some Switch stuff. Another early Switch title. This one is kind of I guess you could call a return to form, maybe? Bomberman or Super Bomberman or. Again, this was another launch title. I don't think there'd been a Bomberman game in years. I remember back in the kind of 16-bit era, myself and friends would, we'd play the multiplayer, played a bit of single player, but obviously it's not really a single player game. But it kind of died off. I don't know, some DS games and whatnot, but yeah, it was one of those series that just seemed to die off, especially with that Xbox 360 making it all serious. This seemed to kind of go back to its roots, and it seems to be well received. So yeah, I like the inside too, where you got the kind of old kind of versions of Bomberman there. Next up is a game that I'd actually never heard of. It's actually a download game. It's download code only. So I've used the code, so it's kind of weird to get a physical box card and nothing in it other than, hey, here's a code, go download it. But it's a 2-in-1 nanograms edition, as they call it. Picto Quest and Picto Cross Adventure. So basically, the Picross style games. I really like Picross. In fact, I keep waiting for Picross, the Sega edition one from Jupiter, to go down in price. The ones on the 3DS, I've played a bunch of them, and they kept going on bigger sales than the Switch one. So this maybe will tide me over until that one gets more reduced. I am curious as well if they're mixing it into kind of like a light RPG adventure, because that reminds me of Puzzle Quest on the DS. That was a great game where you had your kind of puzzle matching kind of as your RPG attacking mechanism. So you kind of leveled up, you did all the puzzle games, but you still had a story to go through and side quests. So very interesting, and I'm curious to try this out. Sticking with the games I I'm not familiar with, it's Has Been Heroes. All I know about this is from reading the back of the box. I think I heard the title before. It seems to be some roguelike game honestly, I don't know too much. Rogue games, I struggle to get into them. I do have like Cadence of Hyrule on the Switch as well, and even that with the Zelda theming, I struggle to get into. One, the movement, but also the random nature. I really like being able to learn, plan, and improve each time, and you lose that with Rogue. So the final item is probably the biggest game of them all here, and that is Pokemon Shining Diamond. So this is, of course, a remake of Pokemon Diamond on the DS. God, I guess they must be 15 plus years old now. So I guess that's what they consider due to be a remake. I enjoyed the DS ones. Now, going back to them, they are a little slow. They're probably slower than the previous games. So I'm curious if they've kind of upped the pace a little in this one. They certainly have kept the graphical styling very similar. So we'll see what that is. But anyway, that's quite a haul of games and gifts, including Everdrives and trades and whatnot. So a whole bunch of nice stuff to add to the collection. And yeah, after kind of slowing down on my pickups, I get that picked up recently. But the best thing was these were all trades and gifts, so not a huge outlay. All good. I kind of went nuts with finishing off the Masters of Collection. I guess I should behave. But anyway, that's it for now. Please like, subscribe, all the YouTubey stuff, and comment below, and we'll see you again shortly. Bye for now.